Good evening. Okay, in the name of the divine, supreme, intelligent life force, I bear witness that regardless to name, language, culture, religion, folkways, mores, or norms, there is but one God. And so from the Office of Constituency Engagement, and of course, Mayor's Office and the Mayor, we want to welcome you to this evening's Interfaith Iftar. Welcome. I'm here with the Director of Neighborhood and Community Engagement, Hassan Freeman. My name is Will Mega. I am the Deputy Director of Constituency Engagement, and I work to move and shape and guide our constituency engagement team, our youth engagement team, our panhellenic engagement and HBCU team, that's the college folk, right? Our Latino engagement team, our women's engagement team, but most importantly for tonight, our Muslim engagement team and our interfaith engagement team. So we're here convening on this special evening, and we're going to get started tonight and walk you through the process of the agenda.
Assalamu alaikum to the Muslims. Ramadan Mubarak. As Will said, I'm Hassan Freeman. I'm the Director of Neighborhood and Community and Neighborhood Engagement. I'm also honored today to have the pleasure of introducing someone that's special to me because they had a vision that I believe in, and that's one Philly. And that's what this Interfaith Iftar is all about. Everybody coming together to ensure that we have a safer, cleaner, greener Philadelphia with access to economic opportunity for everyone, right? And the only way that we can do that is to work collaboratively. So I'm not going to take too much of your time because I know most of your time is valuable. So again, it's an honor and it's a pleasure and a privilege to introduce my Cherelle, who's going to make not history, but her story soon in Philadelphia, the mayor, the Honorable Cherelle Parker.
Hello, Councilmember Squill. I didn't see you over there. Good to see you, my friend. Ramadan Mubarak to each of you. It's an honor and a privilege to be here on today. And I guess when I walked in, I was really excited because I see so many different friends from so many different faiths and so many different walks of life, but all of us coming together on this evening, I think is extremely important. Let me just start by saying a special thank you to, before I say his name, Councilmember Squilla, people have been asking me what have I felt since I've assumed this role of being the first woman mayor in the 6th largest city in the nation, birthplace of democracy, first woman, 341 years. What do you feel? And I think they wanted something really deep, and And I said the first feeling you get when you sit in a chair and you're in the office alone is you feel very vulnerable. And I feel vulnerable and felt it extremely powerfully when I sat down, because I realized that just because you sit in that chair doesn't mean that you can get anything done without all of the people you need to bring together in order to make it happen. And it's with that in mind, I want to say to Hassan Freeman, our director of the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Engagement and Neighborhood and Community Engagement, for facilitating this gathering. Will Mega, our deputy, thank you both so very much. Kigi, thank you, Executive Director of the Philadelphia Commission on Human Relations, the Peace Island Institute of Pennsylvania. I also want to thank Bishop Speaks and Imam Abdullah for not only running our offices of faith and interfaith and Muslim engagement, but also for making the time to deliver interfaith remarks on today. For those of you who don't know, earlier this month, I appointed Bishop Speaks and Imam Abdullah to lead the work of these two important offices and to facilitate an even stronger relationship with our city's diverse faith-based communities. Our diverse communities, I believe, of faith are a core strength of the city and, quite frankly, of the Parker administration. And we have to be grateful for them. During this Iftar gathering, we come together in religious solidarity. It's really interesting. I'm a strong and long-time supporter of organized labor. And we use the term solidarity in labor all of the time. People from different building trades who work with different unions, labor says it's going to come together under the guise of solidarity. On today, religious solidarity is something that we lift up. When William Penn arrived in our beloved city in 1682, came the religious freedom that so many people dream of. And I don't care what nation you go through or to across the world, when you talk about one of the pluses of coming to our great nation, they will tell you that our ability to have religious freedom is something that is desired across the world. As we stand here today embodying everything that Penn envisioned for our city and this nation, I hope that today will give you all a little more insight and touch, quite frankly, and empathy with dealing with our fellow Philadelphians. I've had a long-time relationship with the Muslim community here in the city of Philadelphia, and I'm not talking about as an elected official. Personally, I have since I was a tenderloin, growing up in community organizing here. And so the idea that during this month of Ramadan, when we see our Muslim brothers and sisters engaging in fasting and prayer and reflection and community, it's what we should lift up and salute. We're coming up on Good Friday and Easter, celebrating Resurrection Sunday. I'm Christian, I'm Baptist. That is extremely important to me. That is something that I hope we will lift up. It's during these moments and times that I hope we can, and we should, quite frankly, learn to use each other's cultures, practices, and to celebrate our similarities. People across the city, some, when we were on the campaign trail, laughed at me when they heard me talking about this goal that I had. Now, some of you in this room I've known for a super duper long time, right? And you know my mind, I think really big, and I see success first. Like I see the picture of what I want something to be like. I see the paradise, and then I figure out what steps you need to engage in order to get where you're trying to go. And I would talk about this concept of us having one Philly, a united city. And some people would look at me and think it was a tad bit lofty. How could you think or dream about a one Philly when you see people using race, class, socioeconomic status, gender, religion, any and every way that they can think of to divide us, to say, this is how you're different. This is why the one Philly won't work. Like, where do you get that energy and that passion and sort of keep pushing and pushing and pushing? I get it from events like today. I get it from rooms like this. I get it from looking in eyes like yours. So when I leave, may I run into someone who says your one Philly, a united city is a lofty goal, a lofty vision. Will I run into them? I call them naysayers. Absolutely. But every time I hear them, I see you. That's how we keep it going. So help me here. Index fingers, ones, in the air, everybody, every table. Together, let me hear you all say, one Philly, a united city. I know it's Ramadan, but I'm Baptist. We have to do everything twice. Put your ones back in the air. I want them to hear us downstairs. Let me hear you say, one Philly, a united city. United city. Thank you all. Ramadan Mubarak.
All right, moving right along, and we're going to catch up.
Make the presentation. We just want to make sure that
Yes,
we get this. Here is the citation, and we want to make sure we do that. We want to call all of the stakeholders up. We need to take a photo, please, if you will. All of the stakeholders, Councilmember Squiller, who helped us put this. Imam, is the bishop here? Bishop Speaks, is he? Okay. Out of your space.
All right, one Philly. In the interest of time, because we want to stay on top of both the agenda, but we also must keep in mind that the breaking of fast has to happen at a specific time. So I want to kind of speed us up a bit, all right? So in the interest of time, allow me to introduce, for some special remarks, the person who's primarily responsible for helping us to put this together, Selmanlar.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Peace, shalom, and salam alaikum to everyone. I know actually it's a hard spot to be, especially with my Muslim friends, before the food, being in the spot before the food, and you. So sorry for that, but we have a meaningful night, so I hope you'll bear with us and we'll just be on time for the food. So again, good evening, esteemed guests, faith leaders, civic representatives, and cherished members of our community. As the Executive Director of PCHR University of Pennsylvania, I'm honored to welcome you to our annual Interfaith Iftar with this year's theme, One Philly, Stronger Together. This event, held in collaboration with the Philadelphia Commission on Human Relations and the Mayor's Neighborhood and Community Engagement, symbolizes our shared commitment to fostering a society grounded in mutual respect, understanding, and unity. PCHR University of Pennsylvania is a nonprofit organization that is committed to fostering peace and understanding among diverse communities through various programs and initiatives, including interfaith dialogue, cultural exchange, and education events. We seek to promote mutual respect and cooperation by engaging with communities. Tonight, in the heart of our beloved city, known for its brotherly love and sisterly affection, we gather not as strangers, but as neighbors. We share more than a meal. We share stories. We share traditions and the rich tapestry of our diverse backgrounds, recognizing that our differences are not just to be acknowledged, but celebrated like events tonight. In society, unfortunately, we have a fundamental choice, either to dwell on the differences that arise from our shared trait of humanity, or to embrace that very humanity as our common bond. These differences, like religion, race, and language, and so on, are manifestation of our human diversity. Recognizing our core identity as human beings brings into focus our profound similarities. When we prioritize our shared humanity, the distinctions that often divide us just fade away, revealing the unity and likeness that bind us together. But I know here tonight, everyone is here because we see the value and richness in our diversity. We are ready to work on common grounds, such as education, dialogue, and collaboration, to address the challenges facing our society. Among us tonight are individuals from various faiths, cultures, civic leaders, and law enforcement agencies, all united by a common purpose: to contribute to the welfare of our community and to explore how, despite our differences, we can work together towards common goals. I can't express how pleased I am to see this diversity here. We have pastors, we have imams, and We have rabbis all together, just in the same sense. We are here to just with the same message. And we have our law enforcement officers. I just want to mention our FBI SAC is here. They have their community engagement offices. Our U.S. attorney is here. They could just send their offices, but they want to be here with us tonight. They want to celebrate with us. They want to just engage with you all. This shows the dedication. So I think it's so important to be, because if we want to have success in any issue that we want, we desire, it's going to be all together. So I appreciate all their presence. Tonight, inspired by the principles shared across our religions, such as compassion, charity, and care for our neighbors, we are reminded of the power of empathy, particularly during this holy month of Ramadan. As we enjoy the beautiful atmosphere and incredible energy of this gathering, let us not leave it within these walls. I encourage each of you to take this spirit back to your communities and to the larger community we all share. Let tonight serve as a catalyst for further conversations and collaborations. Peace Island Institute and our co-hosting agencies tonight look forward to deepening our collaboration. You can find all our contact information at the back of the program pamphlet. Please feel free to reach out. Let's discuss, perhaps over coffee or a meal, that's definitely going to be after Ramadan, how we can continue with this vital work. Together, let's maintain an ongoing dialogue and strive hand in hand toward a more connected and harmonious community. This evening, a profound opportunity to educate ourselves, engage in meaningful dialogue and commit to collaborative efforts that pave the way for a more peaceful and inclusive future. Our hope is that by creating an environment of mutual understanding and respect, we are laying the groundwork for our future generations to inherit a world marked by greater peace and harmony. Let us move forward from tonight with a renewed commitment to unity and collaboration. Together, we can illuminate the path to a brighter and more inclusive community. Thank you for being here, for sharing in this significant occasion, and your ongoing efforts to make our city, our nation, and our world a better place. I also would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our dedicated volunteers who worked tirelessly to create this beautiful event for you tonight. And all that being said, I want to end my words with, as our mayor said, tonight's theme was created by our mayor's vision, One Philly and Stronger Together, which was Peace Island's theme throughout the year. So all that being said, I want to end my words by saying One Philly is much stronger together. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Before we bring up next speaker, I do want to acknowledge our Philadelphia City Commissioner, Omar Sabir. And we're almost doing okay on time, so I'm going to ask my speakers just to cut each speech by at least 1 minute, and we will be on time. All right? And so with that said, allow me to introduce, from the Philadelphia Commission of Human Relations, Randy Duque.
Well, my speech is only 500 words, so how's that work? Anyway, good evening. Assalamu alaikum, shalom, and erev tov. First of all, I'd like to thank Mayor Parker for joining us this evening for the very special, timely Interfaith Iftar. To my co-sponsors, the Office of Community Engagement and Neighborhood Services, and as well as the Peace Islands Institute, I truly appreciate the collaboration to make this night happen. To our distinguished faith leaders participating in tonight's program, you have my gratitude. And to everyone in attendance tonight, thank you. This evening would not have happened without your support. I'd also like to recognize my colleagues who were able to attend tonight, including Bunrat Nat, Satir Kirsi, and of course our Executive Director, Kia Gee. Anyway, my name is Randy Duque, and I am the Deputy Director for the Community Relations Division of the Philadelphia Commission on Human Relations, or PCHR. For those of you who are unfamiliar with our organization, the PCHR is the city's official civil rights enforcement and peacemaking agency, where my division covers the latter aspect of the agency work, i.e. peacemaking. In our work for peace, we promote collaboration as a conflict style to build bridges and relationships and manage conflicts when they occur. Tonight's theme, as you'll see in the right up here, and as you heard Saeed say, One Philly, Stronger Together, not only reflects the mayor's message of One Philly and the Peace Islands Institute's year-long theme of Stronger Together, but it encapsulates the key conflict resolution principle of collaboration. But what does it mean to collaborate? To me, it is something that both precedes and goes beyond working together. Collaboration is about the willingness to meet another who may or may not have similar stories as our own. It is the ability to truly listen to one another's stories before moving forward in action. It is the action together as a result of getting to know each other's needs while recognizing and utilizing each other's talents and experiences. And it is maintaining stronger relationships with those people because you have built a new and stronger community among yourselves. Over the past few months, I've had the privilege to facilitate dialogues between leaders from the local Jewish, Arab, Muslim, and Muslim communities. As you can imagine, it's not an easy dialogue. However, I say I'm privileged because I have been witnessing this movement from pain, distrust, and confusion to a group whose members are striving for more connection and collaboration with each other. This is the power of becoming one Philly, and this is what Stronger Together looks like when we focus on our shared humanity and belief in something greater than us while acknowledging and respecting our differences. Tonight, as we break bread with our Muslim brothers and sisters during this holy month of Ramadan, we are reminded of a couple of things. One, the PCHR has had several programs that dealt with something similar that involved and centered around the sharing of cultural traditions through food and dialogue. So as we sit at our tables tonight, sharing in a meal together, I hope that you will listen to and share your stories, your history, your experiences in faith, culture, and traditions with others so that we may continue to build one Philly that is stronger together. Thank you. Shukran, Toda, and Deshekulur. Ramadan Mubarak, and to our Christian brothers and sisters, may you have a blessed Holy Week and Easter Triduum. Thank you.
At this time, we're going to enjoy a short Ramadan video. So, if you would, screen is here.
Muslims who fast are required to abstain from eating and drinking. These restrictions are subject to a time period. Fasting happens for a duration of 1 lunar month. Ramadan lasts for 29 or 30 days, depending on the year. And every day it starts at dawn and ends at sunset. For the rest of the time during that day, we can continue our day just like any other time of the year. Due to the 11-day difference between the solar and the lunar calendars, Ramadan moves throughout the years and goes through all of the 4 seasons over time. This allows people to recognize God's blessings from all the different geographies and seasons. And also, for the young, adults, and the elderly, it leaves these ages with a different experience. Not everyone is required to fast. Those who are exempt from fasting are children, the sick, and those who are traveling far distances. Fasting is not done to be hungry and thirsty. Fasting is done to worship God and to thank Him for His blessings. During the day while fasting, a person is encouraged to pray more and engage in more acts of worship. This makes them more aware of their words and actions, allowing them the opportunity to fix their spiritual mistakes. Their days will become brighter, and this affects the whole community. Everyone is able to start a new chapter of spiritual renewal in their lives. The breaking of the fast is called Iftar, and Muslims are encouraged to break the fast in community. Iftar tables are where people can share their problems and troubles. Opportunities to worship in Ramadan are not only limited to fasting. On Ramadan nights, there are special prayers called Taraweeh. This can be done individually, however, Muslims enjoy praying together in congregation. This month also has a special evening, the Night of Power, or the Night of Destiny, in which Muslims believe was the night that Prophet Muhammad first received revelation from God. On this night, Muslims believe God's angels come down to this world. Muslims debate the exact date of this holy night, but it is believed to be within the last 10 days of Ramadan. If you catch that night and make good use of it, you will get more benefit and reward than 1,000 months of worship. Helps the relationship between man and God to reach to an unprecedented level. Fasting helps to open our hearts and fill our hearts with kindness, and also gives us the opportunity to bring that same goodness to the world around us.
I hope you enjoyed that. As we move forward, we're going to have 3 more speakers. I'm going to take the time to share their names and where they're from now, and then I'll call them up one after the other. So we have Rabbanit Dasi Fruchter from South Philadelphia, Cherelle. We have Bishop Wilfred Speaks. Bishop Speaks, he oversees our Office of Interfaith Engagement. He's also the pastor at Celestial Word Ministries. And one of my favorite things about him is that he spent 16 years on the Philadelphia Fire Department, serving the city before he's transitioned to this office. And then there's Imam Quaiser Abdullah. He's the Director of Muslim Engagement. He's also a doctor, PhD, professor at Temple University. And that said, Rabbi Dasi Fruchter, if you would come up, please.
Hi everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak. I'm Rabbanit Dasi Fruchter from the South Philadelphia Stiebel, down in East Passyunk neighborhood. It is such a pleasure to be here with everyone today, and thank you, Saeed, Imam Abdullah, just everybody here for this opportunity to truly nourish ourselves and give us strength to continue to do this amazing bridge building work that we do. So I heard about the theme tonight, Saeed, great theme, right? Stronger together. Stronger together, right? When you think of the word strong, what images come to mind? Muscles, what else? What? Well, titanium, what else? Mother, very good. I gave birth 7 weeks ago, so it is strong, it is strong. So it's so interesting, right? Stronger together. And I'm thinking about this theme, and I'm thinking about the fact that the Jewish people are coming up on the holiday of Passover, thinking about all of the different themes of redemption and oppression and release. And who was the villain of the Passover story? Pharaoh. And what does it say in the Torah and the Bible over and over again that Pharaoh did? Pharaoh strengthened his heart. Over and over again. I'm so sorry, but the theme is not looking so good because Pharaoh was super strong. Muscles, titanium, the whole thing. And it says over and over again, Pharaoh strengthened his heart. The Hebrew, vayechazek, is actually to be strong. And that's what Pharaoh was doing every time Moses and Aaron went and said, let my people go to worship God in the wilderness. So what does that mean that the antithesis of religious unity and redemption is what happened to Pharaoh's heart, which is to become strengthened? And I look at Moses, who's the antithesis, right, in some way of Pharaoh. And you look at his story that we learn in the Torah, that he grew up in Pharaoh's palace. And where does his strength come from? It says, he left and went to his brethren, and he saw their suffering. And I think, actually, the key to Moses' strength, the key to everything, is he left the palace. He actually left the 4 walls that were closed in around him to see what was going on, with the other people outside. He didn't know, right? He didn't understand or connect to who they were yet. But to be strong in the Moses land is actually to leave one place, go to another, and see another person suffering. That's what the rabbinic tradition says over and over again. Pharaoh, not great. Why? He was fearful and hardened. Moses, cool. Why? He left and he empathized. He left and he empathized. And I don't know about you, but I work in a world where sometimes leaving the four walls of our institutions and our people and our silos can seem really threatening. Can I just see nods if that's true for you? Like you've got stakeholders who are like, don't do that. That's silly. That's not good. We have to be strong, right? But actually to be strong is to be soft. And I was looking at the theme again and I was thinking, softer together. Softer together. That's what we need, right? Ultimately, that's really the strength of what it looks like to watch the walls of the palace go down and to melt into each other in empathy and just thinking about what an opportunity this iftar is, thinking about the daily practice of fasting to kind of chip away at the hardness of that kind of strength and open up to a vulnerability. I want to close because no one ever complained about a speech that was too short, right? About thinking about another character in the Exodus story, and that's Miriam. Miriam was Moses and Aaron's brother, and she kind of gets overlooked in the story sometimes. But there's one moment in the celebration of Passover that was always my favorite growing up, and that was celebrating Miriam's song and dance after crossing through the sea towards the redemption. And Rashi, a great medieval commentator, asks the most amazing question. Hey, when you're escaping the worst oppression of your life, what do you bring with you? You bring a photo, you bring maybe some snacks, you bring matzah, right, which we eat on Passover. What did Miriam bring? Her guitar, right, or whatever, you know? And this amazing commentary says, why did the women bring their instruments? That's so weird. You can imagine someone turning to them and saying, get the food, get the baby, don't bring the drum, right? And what does it say? Because they knew they would have something to celebrate. At the darkest time, they knew. So they said, don't tell me not to pack my guitar. I'm packing my guitar. And so, my friends, I'm so happy to be here with all of you and to celebrate stronger together through softer together, to celebrate by knowing that maybe not this second are we going to break out the instruments and break dance, but it will be coming in the future, not so long from now, with this crew on the other side of the sea. Thank you so much. Ramadan Mubarak.
Pretty good with time. Bishop speaks. It's on you, brother. You heard what she said about a short speech, right? All right, well, you're next. Let's give up for Bishop speak.
Grace and peace be unto you, my brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen. What a wonderful interfaith gathering under this theme here in this place. One Philly, stronger together. In a world often marked by division and discourse, it's more crucial than ever to reaffirm our commitment to unity and to celebrate the rich tapestry and traditions and cultures that make up the fabric of this city. Because there are many, there are so many. And as we look around, or as I look around this room, I see faces representing a large groups of beliefs and customs and even perspectives. Yet despite our differences, and we recognize that we all are and should be looking at each other as interconnected. We are interconnected. And that's our destiny is also intertwined together, and that our collective strength lies in our diversity. Each faith tradition presented here today offers unique insight and teaching that enrich our collective understanding of what it means to even just be a human being. To live with compassion and to strive with justice, whether it is through prayer, meditation, through rituals, or through service, we are united in our shared commitment to build a more compassionate and inclusive society. I don't know about you, but in the words of Martin Luther King Jr., he said, we may have all come on different ships, but we are in the same boat now. We all are passengers on the same journey, navigating the current and this current of life that we face together. And just as a diverse crew brings strength to the ship, we too, we need to bring diverse and enrich each other and empower our community so that we are and have the opportunity not only to celebrate our differences, but also to recognize our common goals, our common humanity. So let us, on tonight, let us break bread and let us break down the barriers that divide us and build up bridges of understanding and solidarity. Let us commit ourselves anew on tonight. The value, that value that we should all want to carry, empathy and cooperation that lies at the heart of our various faiths and tradition. As we break bread together and share in conversation, may we be reminded of the power of unity, the beauty of diversity, and the strength that comes from standing together as one. For indeed, in the words of the ancient Proverbs, in diversity there is beauty and there is strength. Stronger together. Stronger together. One Philly, yes, but we can only be one Philly together. So thank you, and may this gathering be a symbol of hope, peace, and unity for our beloved city. One Philly, stronger together. Thank you.
Before we bring on Imam Quaiser, I just have a few pieces of housekeeping. There's restrooms right outside to your left for prayer. In Conversation Hall, you can walk out the door and to your right. There's some calligraphy and water marble paintings in the back and rear of the table. For your menu, you'll be able to use your cell phones to scan the codes there. And just a reminder, I know I don't have to do this, but the Muslims will be waiting on the call of Adhan before eating, starting with dates and water in the traditional way, expressing the desire for continued collaboration. Without further ado, Imam Quaiser Abdullah.
Assalamu alaikum, shalom alaikum, peace be unto you, good evening to everyone. Elected officials, appointed city officials, faith leaders, civil servants, those who are fasting for Ramadan, those who are fasting for Lent, those who are anticipating the upcoming Passover, and those who are here to witness with us, we welcome you. Will Mega, the MC and my boss, said, keep this short. There's a statement that you never give a mic to a preacher, a teacher, or a politician. I am at least two of those things, and I hang around with at least one of those things. Thank you to Peace Islands Institute, Philadelphia Commission on Human Relations, Office of Neighborhood and Community Engagement, State Attorney Jacqueline Romero, Executive Director Kia Gay, Bishop Speaks, Rabbi David Strauss, Rabbi David Ackerman, to all of you who I've worked with in many different ways. And to names that I did not mention, please don't hold it against me. Randy, please don't hold it against me. Welcome, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here with you tonight. As we gather here tonight in this space of gathering, awaiting the moment for us to break our fast, I am profoundly honored to stand before you as the new Director of Muslim Engagement for a vibrant city of Philadelphia. It is a role that is rooted in service. It is a role that is rooted in the notion that every voice can have a seat at the table, and Philadelphia Muslims have a role to play in continuing to build and transform this city of brotherly love. It is not an easy task, but it's a critical and imperative one. As Muslims, we absolutely believe in the concept of safer, cleaner, greener, with economic opportunity for all. It is as I was writing this statement that I realized how much this is grounded in what we call the maqasid, or the objectives of the Sharia, right? The things that Muslims live by. The first objective is to preserve life safer. So as I'm writing this, I'm like, no, we latch onto this from a religious perspective inherently because it's built into what we actually do. Then there's this other objective of protection of property, economic opportunity for all, right? That yes, everyone should have access to a livable wage, a sustainable wage that gives them the opportunity to live in a comfortable and manageable way. And then there's the protection of health, religion, and dignity. I can find exact matches for those, so I'm just going to mention them right now as a teachable moment here, right? So these are the 5 objectives of the Sharia. In Islam, we have established these principles of being clean and being and conserving and not wasting. So for me, the mayor's objective of one Philly is real because it is rooted in all of the things that we do and we live by. Tonight, as we celebrate this Interfaith Iftar, we are reminded of the beautiful diversity and strength that unites us and also defines us. Our gathering is a testament to the spirit of one Philadelphia stronger together. I resonate with Rabbanit Dasi's idea of change being an example of strength. Because it is in that change that strength was demonstrated. And it is in that change that we develop empathy and the softening of the hearts. In the Holy Quran, Allah reminds us of the essence of the creation of man. And I know I need to keep this much shorter than I'm keeping it right now. In the 49th chapter, verse 13, I want to skip some stuff. God reminds us, O mankind, indeed we have created you from a male and female and made you into peoples and tribes that you may know one another. So the objective here is not to minimize our differences, but to raise them up to the point that we take the step to know one another so that we know one another because of our differences. There's this statement that I like you in spite of your differences. No, the real goal is to like you because of them. Because it's because of your differences that I am actually able to stretch myself. I'm actually able to know more about myself. My other boss, Hassan, stretches me every day, right? I know about myself. He doesn't like, I'm going to be in trouble tomorrow. So, let me look to wrap this up. I'm getting carried away here. So it's in this idea of engaging around difference that we really understand what it means to be compassionate, be softer, and be the type of folks that we want to be. So as I skip these 4 paragraphs, in closing, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to each one of you for being here tonight. Your presence is a beautiful reflection of the spirit of Philadelphia, its diversity, its vibrance, and its unitedness. As we move forward, let's carry the lessons of tonight in our hearts, and let us continue to build one Philly, a city that shines brighter because of its people, its faith, and its unity. Thank you. May this iftar bring us closer, illuminate our hearts, and strengthen the bonds that tie us together as a community. Thank you.
أشهد أن